Alright, boys and girls, what you're going to be looking at here is the latest update to Cosmic Aliens. This is work in progress version 0.10. I have a nice new title screen now thanks to Simon Jonassen's semi-graphics editor. And I now have my aliens on screen. And so I've been doing a lot of tweaking here, and sometimes it gets slower, sometimes it gets faster, but here's kind of where we are right now. As you can see here, my aliens can move around. Their logic is completely random. I can move left and right. They are bombing. I've made a decision to only have one enemy bomb at a time, and he's constantly bombing, so as soon as his bomb cycle is over, he'll start a new one. And right now I can get hit by the bomb. Right now I can't, the game won't end, so if my ships get less than one, they will stay at one, and I have not even created a game over cycle yet. I can shoot the ships too. And so the bomb logic was pretty easy to tell when it was going to collide. There's only one bomb, there's only one of me. So when the bomb reaches the last spot on the screen, if his X coordinate is the same as mine, and I have strategically designed this to where everything will line up perfectly. Just imagine a checkerboard. These are all checkers on a checkerboard, and they're always going to be on a square. They're not going to be in between squares. These coordinates will always line up perfectly. And so if the bomb is in the same spot as me and he's at the bottom of the screen, the game knows the bomb hit me. So that collision detection was pretty simple. By the same token, the ability for me to shoot the bomb was pretty simple too, because there's only one bomb, there's only one laser. So on its way up, my laser will look for the existence of that bomb, and the laser axis doesn't change, but its y-axis does. So if the y-axis of the laser ends up being the same y-axis as the bomb, then the game knows my laser hit the bomb. So those two forms of collision detection were pretty easy to implement. Another form of collision detection is if a ship hits me. So the way the ships are being updated right now is there's a maximum of 7 ships on screen. I do not update all 7 ships every cycle because that turned out to be too slow, so I'm using an incremental counter, and I will update one of the 7 ships each game loop. And as the ships are being updated, when it's their turn to think about things as I'm updating them, I will also check to see if they happen to match the same X and Y coordinates of my spaceship. So if an enemy alien crashes into me, I will detect that in that same loop as I'm updating the alien on screen. So that form of collision detection also was pretty simple because there's always only one of me, and I'm always just kind of focusing on one alien at a time. Now the tough part was figuring out when do I hit an alien. And right now one of the things you're going to see here is that when I shoot my laser, things slow down. The game slows down a little bit because now I've got to start doing a lot more calculating and thinking. I have to compare the X and Y coordinates of my laser on its way up. I have to compare that against the X and Y coordinates of all of the remaining aliens, and there's anywhere between 1 and 7 of those. Currently, I'm doing that using a 4-next loop. So I just say for, X equals 1 to 7 if there were 7 aliens, right? I have a counter called CA or MA for maximum alien count. So I cycle through those, and I cycle through all the coordinates stored for each of those aliens, and I do a comparison. Now that is real quick and dirty to do it with one line of code, just one quick 4-next loop, and I check it out. However, it introduces a lot of cycles that are now a loop within the main game loop is now slowing things down a little bit. So I have some other ideas on ways to make this possibly faster by storing all of these things in a master array and then comparing my shot against the master array to see if I'm in a cell that's already occupied by another object. But mentally that sounds good, but for me to now have to design it and recode it to do that, it's just a lot of work that I don't feel like doing this moment. So that's a back pocket idea I have to possibly maybe make the collision detection cycle a little faster, and it might end up not being faster anyways. So as it stands, every time that shot goes up on the screen, it is doing a 4-next loop against all of the remaining aliens and seeing if it is in the same spot. I've also noticed a bug that I haven't been able to trace down yet, but sometimes I'll hit an alien towards the bottom, but one of the aliens up top is the one that explodes. So I don't know why that's happening. So you can see here at this point there's enough logic in here for this to look and feel like a mentally challenged arcade game, right? I mean, it's got all the pieces, it's just slow. What will happen right now if I can kill this last alien is I'll advance to a new wave, and then the spaceship design will change to the next graphic. I've got 8 different graphics designed, and it'll just cycle through those. I've also discovered a loop in my wave counters. So it's supposed to increment the wave by 1, but I've seen where that either doesn't increment or gets reset, so I got to figure out where the hell that's at too. Let me just see if I can kill one more dude and advance to a new wave. Come on, you son of a bitch. Hold still. Alright, I got him. Alright, so now it says wave 1, right? So this time the wave counter incremented properly. And here's my second alien. This is the second design. I've got 8 different designs I've kind of pixelated. This one looks like it's been influenced by a popular game. There's obviously some influence of Galaxian in the design of my original game I made back in 1989. It's obviously kind of a mashup of Space Invaders and Galaxian, just without all the cool graphics and sounds and speed and a lot of other things. But yeah, it's influenced by that. So these designs here are obviously influenced by Galaxian as well. I tried to be intentional and not design anything that looked like one of the Space Invaders. So everything is either kind of spaceship looking or maybe possibly like eagle looking. Some of them look like butterflies or birds. This kind of ended up being kind of funky looking designs. This particular color screen on the color computer, there's only 4 colors, and the default background color is green. And I wanted to use this mode. I feel like this graphical mode doesn't get used enough for like space shooter type games, and one of the reasons is that green is kind of a crappy color to have as a background for a space game. So I've decided to use the blue, so my remaining colors left over are red, yellow, and green. So I'm kind of substituting yellow as what would be the white ordinarily. Boom. And it kind of works. There's a decent contrast here. Let's see if we can clear it. And I just realized now too, my stinking number fonts things, every time I think I have those things tweaked, they end up falling apart somewhere. So right now my score is a little wonky. See if we can clear one more round here. You die, you son of a bitch. Come on. This thing plays at a blistering speed, doesn't it? So slow even your grandma can play it. It just becomes a pain in the ass at this point. It's still not super fast, but it's still like, dude, hold still. Yeah, they will also check too as the aliens are being updated on the screen. I don't know how that happened. He must have moved into it. Yeah. So there's some other weird little glitch. Here we go. TIE fighters. Okay. So I think we've seen enough of this. It's interesting. It's got a lot of potential. It still needs a lot of help, but it is further along than I thought. There we go. An alien crashed into me. All right. And when he crashed into me, it actually it shouldn't have gone to a new wave. It should have just reset the screen is what I wanted to do. So some of these counters and variable updaters have to be moved around somewhere. Yeah, so I wanted it to where if the alien crashed into you, it would reset all the aliens in case they were all kind of low to the ground. I wanted those guys to reset. All right, so this is it. This is your latest look at Cosmic Aliens, and you have managed to see more than a few of the spaceship designs. I think the graphics look halfway decent. The play factor's got a lot of tweaking to do, and I imagine it's never going to be anywhere near like arcade quality being run in basic, but it's really, this is the proof of concept. Can I make a game? Can I finish a game? So far, I think I'm off to a good start. All right, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.